That was the excellent Worn Out with No Truth. I'm absolutely delighted to say that I have Evan and Alex here from Worn Out. How are you, lads?
Very good. Very good.
You?
Still going.
Welcome to the Metal Cell.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so how's your year been going so far anyway? That's the first thing, I suppose.
I think from the start of the year, I think like with getting Alex in now, it just feels like a whole new band, but it's still, we're the same band, but we're just, it's that the way we wanted the sound is coming out now. Like, you know,
Okay.
I feel like we're hitting a new stride.
Yeah.
You know, there's the excitement is all back in it again. Like,
Right. When you joined Alex, would I be correct in saying the first gig was The Siege, or am I wrong?
No, that was not the first gig. The first gig
what
we
was the
played
first gig?
in Cork.
Okay.
Paranoid Promotions thing.
Right.
What
Yeah.
gig was that? Oh my god, I can't remember a gig.
Oh my! We played so many shows together now.
They've all molded into one
No, there was
beautiful
one
time.
where also Bela played also. Like, I cannot pronounce the name of the venue for.
The Poor Relation, no?
And
No, we didn't play Poor Relation with you.
The Daddy.
and Spapin Fnac.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was Urban Assault. Yeah. Say that again.
So that against Spalpin Fanach.
And Spapin Fnac.
Yeah, it was actually, that was it.
Yeah.
It was the Urban Assault. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure, Jesus, I was at that. Yeah,
That was great actually. Yeah, that was, I think Urban Assault is always great crack.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's always, that was the first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's a great showcase for bands as well, isn't it?
Oh,
And,
definitely.
you
Yeah,
know,
like, I mean, I
fair
think
play to
this,
Danny.
yeah, fair play to him. I think it's the same with the Siege. Like, there's a lot of bands that I wouldn't actually just plan to go see. Do you know? So
Yeah.
if I'm just with the Siege and at Urban Assault, when you're sitting, and I think when you see someone live as well, you just get their vibe more. Do you
Yeah.
know? That you, like, there might be a band that I'm like, do you know, I'm not really, not my thing. You see it live and it just hits you a whole different way.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way.
Yeah.
Like, when I go back, my Spotify just completely changes every single time.
Yeah, it's
Just-
a good actually. It's a good point. Yeah.
it's like watching a live compilation CD.
Yeah. Actually, that the Siege in the Casbah, I thought Worn Out and Grey Stag were the best bands on the day.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just fucking crazy. Like, you know, he got some reception there, didn't she?
Yeah, I was happy with it. Very, very,
Yeah.
very happy. I think it's humbling when you get that kind of reaction. You know, like, no matter how many times you play, like, if someone's willing to risk their body because of songs that you wrote in a sweaty room. That's cool.
There's plenty body
There's-
spirits.
And also, like, it was really cool. Like, when we started to play, it wasn't that crowded, but it like filled up during the first song. I was like, oh yeah, it gets actually pretty
Yeah.
crowded in here. Really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there always is that kind of thing of like when you first start playing, like, you know, there's someone out having a cigarette.
Yeah, there's an overlap of gigs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, and there's people kind of coming in, and you're like, you have that like thing in your head where it's like, maybe we'll just play it to no one. Who cares? And then I kind of look up when we're finished the kind of intro thing, and
Yeah.
people are just getting closer and closer, and they start warming up.
And No Truth was released before the siege, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so that was
just-
April the 14th.
Yeah, April 14th we got it. See, the thing with No Truth now is like we'd been sitting on that for so long. We had planned to get it out it was nearly July of
Right.
last year. We planned to
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
shoot the video, and
Yeah, because I was wondering about that because when Isaac left, and he features in the video,
yeah,
you know, it was a bit confusing.
yeah, well, I had a feeling that people would be, but I think for us with that was like, well, we all recorded this song together. You know, it was more like the end of an era thing, and
Yeah.
I was glad to have him in it. You know, and like because I just it would have felt strange if we had Alex playing with
the song, that you
yeah
all
with
wrote,
especially
okay.
Isaac's vocals and everything on it as well.
Yeah,
I just like
right.
he told us at the siege, and we had the gig in Dali
Right.
for the Baylor Christmas party.
Okay, yeah.
We had that was going to be his last gig, but he let us know. So
Yeah.
at first we were a bit kind of confused on what do we do with the video, but at the end of the day, like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to worry too much about who's in the
No,
video.
I mean,
like, you know.
No, it's cool. So how did you come across the lads then, Alex?
Well, I moved to Ireland from Germany like 2017, and I came from a pretty crowded scene.
Right.
And the move here was like, okay, there's probably not much going on here because outside of Ireland, you don't hear much about like the music scene in Ireland. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine. But then, like in the first month or so, I found out about Vern and Jane. It's not entirely like a heavy band, but I really liked them, and I found out about those
Heavy
guys.
emotionally.
Heavy emotionally.
Yes.
Yeah, and I found out about Worn Out. Like, I saw the video and was like, straight up telling them, oh, this is actually a pretty decent thing, and I think this has quite some good potential.
Right.
Like
Were you in Cork at this stage or Dublin? Where were you?
Cork.
All right.
Yeah.
What brought you to Cork?
Job.
A job. Okay.
Working.
Fat cash.
Cash money.
And like as I said, kind of I pride myself on my research, but you came up as a blank, man. In Germany, I couldn't
That's what I
track you
do.
down.
That's exactly how I would describe it. A blank man.
But I know on one of the pictures anyway, you're obviously playing bass and
Yeah.
singing. No, are you?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I
Okay.
played in a couple of bands, and some bands don't exist anymore.
Right.
They were a little bit smaller. Some bands that are still around. And I'm not the person that like prides himself too much with stuff that I've done in the past, even though there's like some pretty big stuff in it too. But I'm
I tell people all the time because I think it's really cool. Like,
all right.
Go on.
yeah, he was signed to Roadrunner. Like, that's
Yeah,
cool.
he was.
Like,
Yes.
the closest thing I want to get to Roadrunner is watching the fucking cartoon in the morning. Like,
What
that's
is
about
it?
it.
There was a Roadrunner logo on it. No, well, I played in a band that was called the Anti-Doctrine. And yeah, we were signed to Roadrunner, and also
Can you
played
say that slowly? What is it?
the Anti-Doctrine.
Okay.
And-
Is that German? Is it?
No, it's the Anti-Doctrine. It's just
Oh,
his accent.
anti-doc-
Yeah, I'm getting used to it as
So,
well.
sorry for
Okay.
talking like
Sorry
that.
for being German.
Sorry for being German.
So yes, okay, yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
they were. You got signed to Roadrunner.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And
we-
what kind of music were you playing?
Most of the time people compare us to Dillinger's Cape Plan.
Yeah, it was very
Okay.
Dillinger, I think.
Right.
Very
You
Dillinger.
listen to it yet?
I did, yeah.
All right, cool.
We're all doing background checks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually here to interview you, buddy.
Oh my god. So yeah, and we
So
played
go
like,
on, yeah.
like big festivals, and also like even when the band was called, we were called Straight at some point. Well, I wasn't in there yet, but then we toured with Slipknot like
Oh.
back in the day.
Ah.
But it's like way
A small
way
band
So-
from
so-
Iowa.
You might heard of him.
Yeah. So were you playing guitar then, or were you on bass? You were on
Bass.
bass then, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were a competent guitar player as well, or?
I'm the world's most okayest guitar player.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. German precision.
Yeah. Always on time. Hit the note.
Not
That's
me.
too much.
I wish I was German. I'm never on time.
So, well, I mean, we're thankful that you followed the work over to Cork, and
Yeah.
so as Evan is nodding away there, so that's pretty cool. And then you just started just kind of talking to the lads on Facebook, social media, is it,
Actually-
or how did you track them
Actually,
down?
no.
No?
It was like way different. Like even when I moved to Cork, I was sending them a message. Look, if you ever need a guitar player, just hit me up.
Yeah, we laughed at him.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't laugh at him.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, we weren't looking for a
I know.
second guitarist at the time, but I think like same with now, like, you know, second guitarist, if it came around or whatever, it would have to be in a certain moment. But we had just released our, I think No Truth was out like 2 days, and you had messaged us being like, if it ever comes up that
Yeah.
you need a second guitarist,
was false hope actually.
with False Hope, what did I
Yeah.
say?
No truth.
Oh,
Well,
Had you any hope of getting in there?
actually, no. I was like, just like, nah, maybe I asked, maybe I looked for someone, but I didn't expect
Okay.
like any response at all.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any response. I was like,
did I not
Actu-
reply and say,
nope,
go away? No, I didn't.
no reply at
I
all.
did reply, did I? Did I
No,
like
you
it?
didn't. No, I don't know.
I definitely
Hang on a
liked it
while. I
lot.
think I researched that. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. No, yeah. That's a response.
My mother likes it.
Yeah.
So cool. So okay. So Isaac left. You joined, and you started jamming then straight away, and the vibe was good. Yeah.
Yeah, like we
I think,
started-
yeah, that was because I think when Isaac said he was leaving, like, thank God, like, it's, you know, if somebody doesn't want to do something, you can't force them to do it with
Yeah.
music. There's just, there's no way. It was better for him, and it was better for us. But I think I didn't want to just straight away jump into looking for someone,
Yeah.
because I think my head would just been that little bit melted, and I feel like if I wasn't really into it, and you're trying to get somebody else into it, it probably, I don't know what would have happened. So we just took, when I say we took time off, I think we took 3 weeks, but
Yeah.
that was a lot to do nothing with the band for us. You know,
Right.
it was,
Okay.
you're gonna. It was coming up to like, you know, around Christmas or whatever. I was like, let's all
Yeah.
just do our thing, relax. We'll
Yeah.
come deal with it. And I think the first time we jammed with him, we asked him to learn Circle the Drain. And I know Xander was he going to Edinburgh? Where was he
I
going?
don't know. Well, he wasn't.
He was going to London or something, but
I
he was
just there pretty briefly.
yeah, like
practice.
he literally walked in the door and was like, "Hey, what's the story, man?" I was like, "Will we play the song?" He's like, "Yeah, cool," because he had to get a taxi straight away to get to the airport, but he wanted to see what was going on,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And we played Circle the Drain once, and he just put the mic down and went, "Yeah, cool, grand," and left. And I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Like, yeah, I'm good."
Like we
Jeez.
even started to write some new music like during the first
The
practice.
first practice,
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
It's
great.
just like the vibe was so right.
Yeah. Like you hear people saying that, but it genuinely is. It's true. Like, as in,
Man, that's nuts, though.
We
You know,
had
the
our-
chances of that
yeah,
happening,
but
to be
that-
fair, like, you know.
that was the thing. Is like I had no idea what was going to happen. I was hopeful, but
yeah.
like I think what we had planned was like, right, we'll just learn the set the way we had it. Make sure he can play the songs. We'll do a few gigs, then we'll start writing. But
Yeah.
it just
No, it didn't work that way.
no, it didn't work that way.
Yeah.
And our very first gig, we played a new song, and we hadn't played a new song in so long by
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to be able to come out with a new guitarist, play a new song straight away,
Yeah.
really just made it feel
Yeah.
fresh again. Do you know, it was
Yeah.
like,
And I
we're
mean, I
s-
suppose fans of the band as well must have
Mm.
been scratching their heads going, how was the transition so fast? Do
Yeah.
you know
well,
what I mean?
I think that's
No,
what,
like,
yeah, a lot of
you
people
know.
were kind of like, oh, how much stuff did you have to cancel? I was like, we didn't cancel
Nothing.
anything. I actually added more gigs. I was like, because we had the Urban Assault booked well in advance
Yeah.
before we even knew
Yeah.
Isaac was going to leave. But
Like, you did a lot of press actually with Isaac as well.
yeah, we did all right. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and like the first video, False Hope, directed by Rob, like, Jesus, like, that's some video. It's an excellent video, lads.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair play to Rob for doing it. Like, we kind of
it
came
captured
with
your
a-
sound. You know, if you just come in and just look at it, you know, you're following a story as well, and the music, it's just like, and the music actually works really well with the video as well, you know.
Yeah, like Rob was great to work with. We did No Truth with Rob as well. I think like it was great. The only thing was, you know, when we're actually playing in that like Breaker's Yard,
Yeah.
we had no sound system or any, like, no PA to play the songs. So thank God I had long hair, because I had like I bought these like noise cancelling headphones.
Right.
What a load of bullshit. Nothing was cancelled. Like
Nothing
was cancelled when you're playing in a Breaker's Yard, and like
I actually thought that was a wig you'd on.
No. I still have it. Like, I still have the wig, but the lads wouldn't let me wear the one I wanted to.
It's just for special gigs.
And how did you find Alex and Shane, the two actors?
Oh, they're great. Yeah,
Are they mates?
yeah. Like,
Okay.
I know Alex very well. We met Shane through it, but
Shout out, lads.
yeah, shout out to the lads. Shane was actually like missing a tooth, and I was kind of looking at him, being like, "Are you just some kind of method actor? Did you knock out your tooth just for this role?" And he's like, "No, I'm just missing a tooth." And I'm like, "Good."
So
Class.
you could
That's
basically
cool.
So you could basically say he has no tooth.
Oh, no tooth.
And the whole concept of the video, who came up with that?
I think that a lot of that was Brian.
Okay,
Think.
right.
Yeah, it was a while ago now. But yeah, I think a lot of it was
Right.
Brian, and then I think Rob also had a very similar kind of
Yeah.
idea, and he had the where like the Breaker's Yard. He had an idea of doing it with. He wanted to shoot something like with mechanics and
Yeah.
old cars and.
Where was that filmed actually? Was it in Cork? Was it?
Mullinahasig? No, where was it? We did half of it when they go into the
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 forest.
woods.
Yeah.
That's Mullinahasig. The actual Breaker's Yard. I think the guy's name was Joe, and there was these two lads that they were wearing very old tracksuits, and the whole time we were playing, they were just like, because they've never seen this happen. To be honest, I don't think many people would have seen that happen. They're kind of just walking around, looking at us, and like when you're trying to play, and you're going to see these two guys being like, "What story, boy? What are you doing?" It's very hard to like try look angry when you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
they're dumb, don't they?"
Brilliant. So, Circle the Drain then was the next single. You were involved in the video of it.
Yeah, with Circle the Drain, I think it was more. We wanted to just keep the ball rolling,
Yeah, yeah.
keep
I can
momentum
understand it.
going, and
It's a great song as well.
thank you. But with doing like another full video, we wanted it out
Yeah.
soon, because we actually recorded Circle the Drain and No Truth at the same time, and we kind of planned to get the same video done for No Truth, but have it 2 months after. It didn't work out that way, but sure, look, what can you do? But I think there was one day we knew we wanted to do a lyric video, but we didn't know what to have it on.
Okay.
So I think I just took a camera and just walked around Cork, and just, that was at the time they were knocking down the
That was it the Foss?
they were knocking down the Foss building, and I was like, well, I have to get some
nice.
footage of this.
Yeah.
And we just gave all the footage to a guy, PJ, and then he edited it all together first, because
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that.
PJ Visuals.
PJ
Shout out to
Visuals, that's
PJ
the one.
Visuals.
Yeah. I think he did like Amigra's stuff before. The guys in Amigra kind of sent it on to us, because we didn't
Right.
know who
to
go with either.
Yeah.
We didn't, to be honest, we didn't really know what we wanted. We just knew we wanted to get another song out, just to keep that ball rolling, rather than have one song come out every year. At the time, I feel we were not like a buzz train, but I think when you come into something hard, if you keep going, you'll write it and you'll get bigger and bigger from it. But when I say bigger, I don't mean like next year the Olympia. Anyway, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But you played in a few bands before that, didn't you? You came from Kilkenny, and
Yeah. I've played in a few different bands. Like I actually haven't played in the same type of band twice. Do you know,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I was in kind of more grungier bands, and then the band that I was in before this, White Line Fever, was we're almost Radiohead-esque,
Yeah.
do you know.
Yeah.
But I think my frustration with what was going on with that band is in like trying to get a single out. I think I was very headstrong on knowing I wanted to tour and I wanted to do this, but not everyone saw eye to eye. Brian was in the same band as well, and
Right.
through that, I was like, right, I'm going to start a side project. I'm going to do the complete opposite of what I'm doing, because I feel like if I do something similar, I'm not going to get that kind of release that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Then
So like you're kind of the first drummer I've actually had on the show.
really,
You know, which is interesting
what a
because
letdown.
like in relation to you, you can obviously play guitar as well
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sing
yeah.
as well. Yeah, yeah. How did
Not
was it?
obviously.
Yeah,
His solo stuff is actually really, I really love it.
yeah. I've heard it, man. I've heard it. Yeah, we might do a separate one for that. You know.
Yeah. I'd love it.
But did you start off playing drums? No.
No, I started off playing guitar just because there was a guy in my school who played guitar, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. He actually was the type, Barry Mullins, if you're listening to it. I remember, buddy. I remember. But when I was growing up, I didn't have, was it like Sky Digital and stuff? Like he had Kerrang, I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'd go over to his house and
Nice one. Yeah.
like I'd be able to see all this, and he had
Yeah.
a Jackson Flying V, and at the time
When
I thought
Kerrang
that-
was good.
when Kerrang was good, yeah. Watching him, like being able to see somebody play a song that I know, and you're physically playing it in front of me, that blew my mind. So I started playing guitar, played like a few bands when I was younger that sucked.
And then you got a
learning curve.
Christmas for Christmas. You got a drum kit.
No, definitely not. No.
Birthday.
I think like there was a band, like I think everyone has that band except us actually, which is alright. That
What?
during the break of like a practice, someone's like, "Can I play your drums?"
Yeah.
But I was
Come on,
always
come on,
that.
I
like,
did that. Let me show you that.
yeah, but I ask you to play mine.
Okay.
That's fine. But you know, like, you know, I was always like, I had this fascination with drums, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get a drum kit. But I convinced my parents that if I pay for half of it and they pay the other half, and I just something about drums, it just felt more. It felt a lot more right to me. Like,
Did you do lessons, or is it just?
I had a friend who I bought the drum kit off, and he started showing me. But a lot of it then was me just sitting in the same room, because that was that's something I don't have in Cork, where I could wake up, go to the room next door, and just play drums all day. So I think a lot of that was just, I didn't even really have YouTube stuff at the time. You know, it was just sitting and just constantly.
Yeah, actually,
playing.
It's a good point. Actually, there's so
know,
many have come through the YouTube generation of being taught online. You know, and the great. It's a brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah,
it's a brilliant
absolutely.
thing,
Yeah, but I was more just like, I'd sit listening to, put on the Melvins or put on like Tool or songs that, like, you know, for a guy just starting out, you're not going to be able to play it. But I would keep trying it. Like, I would keep trying it.
Just when I think of it, like when I started out, or maybe our generation started out, it was like you listen to a record and you're like, oh, okay, let me try that on my guitar, let me try that on my instrument, and you're like sitting there like figuring stuff out. And like today it's like, oh, there's a how-to on YouTube, it shows all the chords, everything. And if we would have YouTube like in this age, probably
you get the books with tablatures.
Yeah, absolutely. I just something, I think it was more the actual physicalness of playing drums that really appealed to me. Like, it was a therapy almost as well. Like, you know, I didn't like in Kilkenny, just hurling. Everyone, it's like you almost get graded on it in school. Like one of my secondary school teachers was Brian Cody. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you can't get away from it. And it was just, I felt like I wanted to get away from it, so that was just my way of doing it.
Yeah.
It still is. I'm still running from hurling. Like.
Yeah. And would you describe yourself now as the complete drummer, or is there other stuff you're picking up on YouTube? Like,
I wouldn't even consider myself a competent drummer.
Yeah.
Like,
but like kind of.
He's also the world's most okayest drummer.
Yeah. We're all right.
Like. Do you still kind of, can you check out stuff on YouTube for yourself?
Oh, yeah.
To figure stuff out. Yeah.
I think.
Like that's my point. Like, when does the learning stop? You know.
Well, this is the thing. It's like the speed of, I think when you're first starting, that's the fastest you're going to learn. Then you'll get to a point where you're comfortable, and like when you're writing music, there's things you learn, but I found with me it was more like songwriting and dynamically what will work, or how, like a thing I used to do with a friend he would just play one riff over and over and over again, and I wanted to see if I could make that sound like a song with different sections just by changing drums, just by half timing it, changing if I'm like from a tom groove on it, do maybe something linear over it, like just seeing different
Yeah.
ways that I can make that one riff change.
Yeah.
Do you know? And now it's there's things that I look up on YouTube. I think like you get to that point where, not that you know everything, because I absolutely do
Yeah.
not, but there's that burst, you get it, and then you pick up small things as you're going. I haven't, to be honest now, I haven't sat down and like done a lesson online in a very long time, and it's something that's always in my head to.
Yeah, no, that's why I asked it. You know.
I mean, what also helps is like when you play with different musicians. Well, I get the feeling like since we play together, like I try a different stuff that I wouldn't do before, and it's probably the same for you.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah. I feel like with Alex, I remember like when we were first talking with Alex, and I think we just sat and had a coffee or a pint or something, and I said I want to get more technical. I don't want to come across like the Dillinger Escape Plan. I don't want to be a gent band, but I want to really kind of.
What's a gent band?
It's like Periphery, Sugar, stuff like
all
that.
right.
That.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's great, like
yeah.
it's not wrong with it, but I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I'm some kind of a metal guitar player, so the style I play is somewhat metal.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a hardcore kid at heart. So
Yes. Okay.
it is a little bit in between, and I think this is what I try to get across in the music that we write right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think for myself, it's like, I think I was just at a point where it's like every once in a while I get this burst of like, if you don't start pushing yourself, you're going to get too comfortable. So I've made a conscious effort to try to do things that I haven't done before, rather than do something that I know it'll sound good and it's fine, but I think I want to personally bring up my own playing while playing with you, and I think you were the perfect person to kind of to bring that out in all of us. Like, but it wasn't even like we sat there and we're like, okay, we're going to change the time signature here, and then we're going to do this. It just like happened. It just happens.
Yeah.
You know, I think it kind of brought that out in all of us. Do you know what I mean?
It's great to hear. It's funny now, since I'm from Youghal, you know Clay Castle Studios and Warren Tivey. Shout out to Warren.
Yeah, what a man.
How did you come across Warren?
I think we recorded our White Line Fever, that kind of Radiohead-esque band. We recorded a live video in Clay Castle, and that's where we met John as well. Like, John Burke. Yeah, what a guy. Like, we recorded our EP with him. Unfortunately, the EP never came out. Okay. But do I have that anymore?
Yet.
Yeah, well, I'd love to put it out. Like, I think I listened to it like a year ago, and I was like, do you know when you're stuck in something so much, and your head is like, you take that far away from it, and you listen to it, and you're like, that sounds actually really good. Yeah. But yeah, I met him just through doing that. The guys that were in White Line Fever, they knew him very well.
Okay, so they got you the gig then, the Marine.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So many people have asked me, did you used to work in Clay Castle? John, out of nowhere, just tagged me that I worked in Clay Castle, and it just came up on Facebook that I apparently worked there. If that's true, I never got paid. I've never once been paid. I didn't really do much work, but I'm sure it's hourly. Like, so there's about 5 years that I'm waiting to get paid for. Yeah. John,
cough up, John. That's cool though. Yeah. The other thing there as well, you know, we kind of on about it there in a past podcast with the type of music you play. You know, I find as well a lot of the venues trust the organisers and maybe the band themselves to kind of self-police the crowd.
That's a big thing, actually. There is a mosh pit etiquette. Yeah, you know, and I think if you're an outsider looking in, it does look like chaos. But if you are someone that's actually going in there to hurt somebody, you're going to be caught out and you're going to be dragged out. Yeah, you know, it's just. So
it is self-policing then.
It is definitely. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I like.
I mean, we all see the lads diving off the stage, you know, and some poor bastards getting awful deaths, you know. But it is that kind of music that's more ferocious, you know, kind of like
the
you're
crowd
waiting for
expresses
the
itself as
yeah,
as
you're
they're
waiting for the
expressing.
breakdown, and then it's
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking-
You can even see like when Conjurer and Bela were playing in Cork.
Yeah.
There was actually a lot going on. Like the crowd was going nuts, and it was like,
Everyone was
One-
looking after each other, man. Yeah,
absolutely.
totally.
Except for this one guy.
Oh, the
There
really
was-
drunk guy.
Oh yeah, like
yeah,
this
yeah.
one, and like everyone was like really holding him, and like, dude, like just keep it down a little bit. So
Yeah.
they were actually policing and like looking out for each other. And
Yeah.
it's
I think
actually pretty
See, I
cool.
don't think you get this freedom up in Dublin.
like
Like
Dublin
DME
crowds are different,
promotions are very good. Like there is no bouncers there,
Mm.
and that's a credit to Peter and H that run it, you know. But I'd always wonder if it kind of goes outside the normal kind of gigs, you know. For example, Macedon playing in the Savoy in Cork,
Savoy, yeah.
it was fucking mental. The bouncers actually, the way they went into the crowd, like they were actually standing in the crowd,
Oh really?
stopping
See,
people.
well, that's
you
I
know?
think that
That-
maybe they just that's bad briefing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
they've obviously never dealt with a crowd like that. That I guess I can understand. You just see a load of people pushing each other.
Mm.
If you were to see that in Soho or the Voodoo, where they might usually work, that's where you come in and stop it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
causing a problem,
Yeah.
then you know that's where
Yeah.
the actual aggression comes out
Yeah.
rather than the self-expression aggression.
Mm.
No, I think it's I think we've the right balance in Cork, you know.
Yeah.
So far, like I mean, again, you know, your background, Alex, is it kind of more hardcore or metal? Is it or
Well, actually both. Like
Both,
I played
yeah.
in hardcore bands, I played in metal bands,
Yeah.
and well, I always gravitated like in the last years more towards metal, black metal, death metal, but like
Okay.
still in my heart,
it's
there's still a hardcore kid in there. And
I love the
it's-
way you could actually hear you
Patty's
pat his heart.
heart. Yeah.
That's how much it meant to him.
Yeah.
It's deep in my heart.
So I'm just kind of wondering then, in relation to the direction you're going,
Mm.
I think that's actually a benefit to have kind of a metal background, because with hardcore, you could paint yourself into a corner very fast.
I think like actually a lot of bands that I can think of any example right now, but there are of course bands that like write themselves like into a corner.
Yeah.
And still the songs are good, and songs still might be like really cool, but it's at some point it's like repeating the same song over and over again, and that's what I really don't want to do. Like
Yeah.
we talked about this
Yeah, we
like
did,
a couple
actually,
weeks ago,
yeah.
where I was like, look, every song idea that I have, or like every riff idea that I have, like in a new song, I go for a certain idea, and then I'm not going to use anything like this for the next 10 to 15 songs or so.
You can fall into a hole of just this works, so we'll keep
Yeah.
doing this. So
Yeah.
But that's in my opinion, that's a little bit of the lazy way. I want to keep it interesting for myself and even for us.
oh yeah,
Like,
of course.
try
yeah.
new stuff out while still like being in a certain style that it still sounds like worn out.
I think the whole thing is giving everybody the freedom to give their say. Like if you have an idea, instead of just going, I don't like that. Like,
Yeah.
if someone has an idea, we'll play it to a certain level where it's tight, because there's one thing if I have an idea and we all play it and we all play it wrong. There's no point in going, that's class. Yeah, well definitely. It's like, you know, let the person
Yeah.
let them be the conductor for a while.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't
co-op.
work. You know, if it
Yeah.
does, like there was even something that happened.
Often the best songs are wrote by fluke, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
this is it.
absolutely.
Like even your idea. There was the newest song that we're
Mm.
doing. You had the idea with that section with the bass, and I was like, yeah, I don't know.
And then we played it.
Then we played it the first time, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then we made it longer, and I was like, yeah, it's class.
And even
But
like,
I needed to hear what was going on in your head, and even
Yeah.
if I'm like, it's that thing that if you go in negatively on this, it's going to come out negatively. Like if
Yeah.
you're sitting playing and you're like drooling and just kind of looking away, it's like, well,
Yeah.
you don't care. Like
but that's really a thing that it's not going on with us at all. Like
Mm.
even if Brian brings an idea, or you bring an idea, or I bring an idea, like everyone is open to try it
Yeah.
out. Like everyone's like, yeah, let's just try it, and if I don't like it, let's see what we can change
Yeah.
about it, and let's see what we can kind of come up with.
It was funny there because both of us were at Suits there last Saturday night, and
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
a great gig.
great gig.
But Evan was on duty because was it Sean Symbols? Was it 2 or 3 times, man? They crashed down, and
Oh,
Evan was
yeah.
there.
That's
picking 'em
actually, because I think naturally because I'm a drummer, I just watch drummers,
Yeah.
and it's happened a
Of
few
course.
times at different gigs where I can see like a cymbal falls, and I'm like, just if that happened to me, I would love if another drummer came up
Yeah.
and helped me.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I did it. I think it was like the third time I got up, and Sean was just like, "Fuck it, it doesn't matter." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, all right, whatever." I thought you needed it, but
But yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
I
though,
do,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's great to see,
Yeah.
you know. So how, from your perspective, how do you figure it out how to get the rhythm right? Have you an approach, or do you have to wait for them all to throw in their stuff and then kind of play around with it?
well, I think like the first, like say songwriting wise,
So like we'll say No Truth. Give us an example of that. How did that come about? We'll say.
well, No Truth, I actually wrote the intro guitar thing, so I kind of like if I write a guitar part, it's going to be simple, but
yeah.
But
I know already what the drums are. Like it's not
Okay.
it's not a question of what. I was like, what will I do for the drums? We have another song, the end of Happy Banger. I don't know why we call it Happy Banger.
Yeah, it's the working title.
until this day,
It's the
I
song
don't
that
know
we
what
always
the name of
close
the song
with.
is.
Well, it's just Happy Banger. We just until we record it, then we'll come up with a real name. But,
yeah.
And we're still gonna call it Happy Banger.
yeah. But like I wrote the guitar part for the end section, and I wrote it playing the guitar, but also already knowing what the drums were. I was playing to a drum track in my head,
Okay.
kind of thing. So everything I write with is always I'm sure a lot of drummers that play guitar will have that. I'm sure that if you write something, you already know
Absolutely.
the drums in your head. It's
I
just
mean,
they come together. Like
The thing is, I started out as a drummer actually, so
Okay.
I know how to play drums. So when I write something, usually this is probably what changed the most since I'm in the band for you guys. We demo everything out.
Go on, yeah.
And I also like program drums. Like they're not set in stone, but it's like this is the general idea that I want to go for. Play around with it, do what you want to do, but just so you know what I have in mind.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about that is like I have a certain, like I won't say a style, but I have a certain way of doing things that I'll do.
You have a go-to section.
Yeah,
rhythm,
like I might
yeah.
have things that like I'm that's what I'm saying. I'm getting out of that. I don't want to do that anymore because I can already be like, I know what everyone thinks I'm going to do there, and I'm not going to do it. So it's like if Alex has shown me an idea, I'd feel like that I'm welcoming to you, being like, try something like this, and usually he'll show me something, and I can't play it straight away because
Like-
that's
like in the
what
new
practice.
song.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like when he the first time he showed me something, I was like, yeah, okay, let me play it a few times, let me get my head around it. And it's something that I wouldn't have usually done, and I can be very relentless. I'm sure it's very annoying for
No,
you
actually
because I'll start playing the same 5 seconds of music over and over, and when I stop, I'll just count back in, not say it, and not look at anyone, and just be like, until this is muscle memory.
Yeah.
None of you are going
And there were
home.
some times where we played like one part over and over again for like 5 minutes or so, and everyone's like, I want to go on.
I'm like, yeah, but I can make it better.
Just let me.
Just let me have my thing.
But then again, when I write some drum parts, write in quotation marks, so it's not like that I write something that I know that he's not gonna play.
Yeah.
I write like, okay, what is Evan gonna do?
Yeah.
And then I write like a drum part that's somewhat your style, but with a little bit of flavor from myself in there.
Yeah, it's good to be able to have that. Like even there was one song. There's one song we were writing, and I was kind of like, as in, like, I think the whole thing with when you're writing and you're practicing with people is drop your ego, man. Like because I think that really is, ego can be a huge downfall on bands. I've said, like, would you do me a favor? I know exactly what you're saying, but if I see you play it, I'll play it straight away.
Yeah.
And he's got in, played it once, and I've got back on. Then I played it, and it's no problem.
And
It's
then
a
the song
feeling.
moves on. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's
we
just
didn't use the
physical.
song at all.
Yeah.
Did we?
No, this one with a dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun,
yeah.
dun.
Yeah. We ended up not using it, but that was another thing where I was saying, I will try. I will. We'll listen to the idea. We'll get it tight, and we'll spend the time on it, and then we'll decide if we want to use it.
Yeah.
We ended up not using it, but we put the effort. But we ended up putting the effort in.
Is it there anyway? It's recorded anyway. Like so.
We have our things. Like we at the moment, like we have so many.
We probably have like 5 or 6 songs that are actually finished.
Okay,
but
they're fleshed
which
out and
we
everything,
are actually not using because we still want to play around
Yeah.
with the parts or like rearrange stuff or anything.
So could you go to Aiden again with something concrete in the next few months?
Oh,
There's a plan.
our main focus right now is EP.
Okay.
We were going to record sooner, but I think, like we're saying, we're writing so quick right now, and everything. You know, you'll write something and then you look at something that you wrote a month ago, and I nearly just don't remember that. I'm like, why? Like that's not good. Like where at the time we loved it. We're writing so quick. We're all learning off each other. They're getting more, not technical in an unlistenable sense, but just more
just a little
honing
more
in our craft.
interesting,
Yeah,
like-
honing in our craft and who we are as a band, what we want to sound like. So we could go record in a month. But I because we've been releasing singles, and everyone's like, "Oh, when you doing an EP?" I want this EP to be like, okay,
The initial plan was that we like do 4 songs.
yeah,
We're still gonna write more.
we're still writing.
Yeah,
as well,
keep
like,
going.
we're-
Like I mean, keep going. Momentum is.
This is the thing. Like even if we had, I don't think there's ever been a point that we didn't have a gig booked, whether it's announced or not. But a lot of the time, the songs will start by us naturally
playing
just
around.
jamming, and then we'll get a video of it. Maybe Alex or Brian would go back and take those bare bone ideas, try come up with like maybe a minute version of what way they think it could
And then
go.
we're gonna record it like with programmed drums, bass, and
Yeah,
guitar.
just again to get your idea across, because
Then
I
we're gonna-
you sorry you could
sorry.
you can try. No man, I'm
Ah,
sorry.
sorry.
No, dude,
Ah,
I'm
ah,
sorry.
ah,
No,
sorry, man.
I'm
Ah.
sorry. All right,
I love you.
again, shut up. But yeah, it's like it's a great way to get someone's idea across. You know, it's like I could, if I just sent you a riff, you know, I could try explain something to someone that doesn't play drums, and it goes. Like, what are you talking about?
But also one thing that I really love that we're doing right now, because like Brian has a good setup with his computer, I have a good setup with my computer, and we don't have to be like in the same space, but we're both recording the same project. So it's like,
the more we can not be in the same room, the better.
I cannot stand those guys.
What program are you using?
A Logic.
Okay.
Yeah. So like this one day when we wrote the first song, we were like, "Are you on your computer?" Yep, just writing messages. Let me track the guitars. I'm going to save the project, and then you can go on. I'm just sitting around like
that
for
was
20 minutes.
so strange. That was like
Yeah, there's computer.
Yeah, like
computer
I'm the
buffs
guy
and
that
there's
likes.
guys
Yeah,
not.
I like sitting
I'm
in
a
a
nerd.
room. Like we do have a perfect balance of that now, because if we do too much writing on a computer, I get very frustrated. Don't like it, but I understand its necessity. Where if we like, we'll.
What way is Xander on that?
What's that? Do you know what? I can imagine it suits Xander more, but it suits Xander more once the song is finalized, because we have a tendency to make small changes. And if he's trying to write something, and he has, say, like a verse, and he has, say, it's 16 bars of lyrics, and then we go, "Oh, we're going to do that shorter." He's like, "Well, do I have to change the entire story that I'm writing now?"
Yeah.
But I mean, we're still planning on doing a full pre-production team with Xander, but we want to do that when the songs are finished and when we know, okay,
so
we're
it's
not
frustrating probably for Xander as well.
Well,
it totally is. It is. I know it is. He tells me it is.
Oh, really? Well, I just always wait for a stamp of approval. When he sits in the corner, is like grinning, like nodding his head. I'm like, okay,
see,
probably gonna like it.
Xander's like that. Like I love, like, say if we're kind of like trying to decide something, and it's usually the three of us being like, "Yeah, well, we should do this." I'll just stop and be like, "Do you know what, Xander? What do you think?" And if whatever he says to me, then that's what we're doing. I don't care, because I feel like he listens more than we do. Whereas we're three people that want to get our ideas across. Whereas he'll sit and he'll listen. And then he'll listen to everyone's thing, and it's like, because we can be very like
we can argument a little bit about parts.
yeah, but you know it's.
But ultimately, these songs that you're writing, because they're hardcore songs as well, are these lads all landing in at 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, I think every song so far is about 3 to 4 minutes. Like
I think so. Yeah, in or around that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't.
Let me look that up.
I didn't want to do like a. Well, maybe we will someday, but like kind of a 7-minute thing, just because.
It's what fascinates me about the whole scene, you know, because you've got the stoner, you've got the sludge, you've got the.
I didn't realize, and I've talked to someone about this. Sorry to interrupt you, but
5
Doom
songs in the making.
Very good.
Doom is so much bigger in Ireland than I thought.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, people must listen to the same kind of thing," and it's. You got 10 Ton Slug, you got Zora, Spirit Merchant, you got Corrosa, and this is like just in like Cork, so big. Like you have Two Tales of Woe from Dublin. Like there's just so that scene is huge, man.
Even people in Germany know Soothsayer.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course they do. The lads are sound.
But also Sludge and Doom is also a pretty big thing right now in Germany too.
I'd say the variety of metal that you've heard in how long are you here?
For almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
2017.
does it not kind of
2017?
2017?
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Does it not kind of amaze you just at the size of Cork alone that there's
Absolutely.
such variety?
I mean, I came into Cork and was expecting like there's no scene at all, and then like in the first 2 weeks I was at a show and they were playing Slung from a Tree, I think.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Stonecarver, like they're these doom bands, and then I heard about Worn Out and Baylor and was like, oh, that's a whole different thing going on here, and it's actually really cool. There's such a big variety, and then also bands like Zora or how they called Siren.
Z-Ren.
Z-Ren. All right,
Z-Ren,
yeah, we played with them, but sorry for being German.
No, it's great. It's great, and it's nice to hear your perspective of it as well. You know.
Well, even for such a small city, and I mean compared to other cities, Cork is kind of small, but there's so much going on, and I'm really surprised. Actually, I've never been to a show that's like not good attendant. And even friends of mine, like they play in a band called Corgans. They toured in Cork, and I was like,
they did it with Baylor. Yeah.
This was actually a really funny story.
Coil Guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really
Sorry,
funny.
He's German. You won't understand what he's saying.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, it was so funny. They toured like Ireland with Baylor, and I played with an old band with them in Germany.
So they knew of you.
Yeah, so we know each other.
That's bizarre.
And then they played in Fred Zeppelin's, and I was waiting outside, and before the doors opened, like Jonah, the guitar player, came out and was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I live here now.
I've tracked you down. I'm a super fan.
I found you. I love you."
Jesus.
It was so weird.
You know, I like, and I've got this feeling as well that I think a lot of Irish bands would go down really well in Germany. I mean, and of course, 10 Ton Slug now are playing in Kaiserslautern.
Kaiserslautern.
Yeah, which is cool because I mean, I think
that's actually one of the drone sludge doom like capitals.
Oh,
is it really?
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
They're
You
gonna
know,
clean up.
I like this is Kaiserslautern, where it's pretty big. Also Wuppertal,
right?
Where a band is from, like they call Grim Van Doom. Listen to them. I play tour guitar for them. Fucking great stuff. And they're like so much stuff like this going on. Like
so they should have a good attendance then.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, yeah. So yeah, that's
10 Ton Slug are so good at what they do. They're such nice guys too.
Yeah.
It's the thing like with God Alone. It's like you think like with being so young and being so freakishly good, you'd at least hope they're dickheads.
But they're not.
They're really the most humble people you'll
The first
ever
experience
meet.
with Kian ever was like, I saw them play and was like, oh, they're fucking great. And then I talked to him, and we played our first show, and he was like standing right in front of me, looking at me. Oh, it's so fucking great. What are you doing there? I was like, dude, you're way better than I am.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think like I feel like the Cork scene is safe if all the guys, if they keep writing the music you're doing, but the attitude they have, the supportiveness they have, you keep that up and we're golden.
Absolutely.
We're golden. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I see great things for God Alone happening. Seriously.
Oh, 100%. They're just they're unbelievable. Like.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Shout out to God Alone.
Shout out to God Alone. I think as well, because again, my fascination with drummers, there's some fantastic drummers
I see a recurring theme here.
in Cork, it's the novelty of having a drummer.
Let me have my moment.
Yeah, Jack, for fuck's sake.
What's wrong? I don't
You
know.
know,
He's some
that's
kind of
crazy.
I think he's on steroids. I'm actually going to start rumors now. Jack's actually on steroids and he's he's starting hairdressing school. He's quitting drums.
Good.
Yeah.
give the rest of you a chance.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
What about Ollie from Corrosa as well?
He just finished hairdressing school and he got off the steroids because his hands were shaking while he was cutting hair.
And Sean from Bela is selling all the steroids.
Sean from Baylor is the steroid king of Cork and Louth. I don't know how he does it. But Sean, actually, like, I love that guy, but my God, I love watching him play drums.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
Yeah.
watching
You
him play
always
drums.
have the feeling like one arm is up all the time.
Oh,
Yes.
he's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's that's another thing of like just someone being so nice and so good that I'm like, you should only have one or the other, but he has both.
Yeah, that's it, you know. It's a funny story there. I was over in Bloodstock and we were watching Nuclear Assault. They came on they were actually coming from Germany, actually, so they had it was like 11:30 slot in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was watching the drummer anyway, and fuck it, next minute drumstick comes flying, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a nice crowd there anyway, you know. So I put my hand up, and it bounced off my hand and went behind me. And my friend Timmy then put his foot on it, and there was this girl trying to pick it up, you know. And she looked at him, and I was there as well, waiting to swoop in, and he just took his foot off it and gave it to her. And I'm there, for fuck's sake. I says,
I commend the nice thing you've done, but also
yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Man.
What were the chances, you know?
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
turned around anyway, and the set is continuing. Next man, here's another drum, and I'm not joking. Another drumstick is coming towards me, you know. And a guy puts his hand up, and I'm trying to, like, the hurling skills as you talk about it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So it hit both of our hands, right? Went up into the air and landed over to the right hand side where my friend Terry was. And there was this tall, silver-haired guy. He's around 6'3", 6'4", and he was standing alongside Terry. And I was there trying to grab it, you know. And Terry just, this is my friend now, picked up the drumstick and gave it to the silver-haired guy. Yeah, I was the same. So, what the fuck? And Terry goes, he looked like he wanted it more than you did. Because he did my bollocks. So it really annoyed me, you know. So I mean, ruined the set, like. And
I wish I never went.
yeah. So I went up
Such
to
a
him.
horrible day.
I saw him because the silver-haired guy stood out, you know. I saw him later on that day, and I goes, did you enjoy the drumstick, like, you know? And he goes, I don't even like him.
Oh,
You fucking
man.
bastard,
uses to
you know?
scratch his back. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you a similar. Love it. A similar story, and I genuinely like wake up in the middle of the night and I think of this is I saw Tool in 2006, Mastodon supported.
Jeez.
Danny Carey threw out a drum skin, and I was just like, it all happened in slow motion. It was coming straight to me, and I had
Frisbee.
I had my finger. I don't know why I decided, like, it was just a little bit high, and I was like, I'm gonna get you, and I had my finger out like as if I was doing, like, you know, the pizza thing, the one finger thing, and it landed on my finger, rolled around my finger twice, and went the opposite way back into the pit, into some dickhead's hand.
And again,
And I haven't washed this finger since.
Go on, give us the drum roll. Or no, the trumpet. Yeah, there we go. So, we have gigs to announce, lads. The first one coming up, which one of you wants to take the gigs? Shout out there.
well, the first gig we're gonna play, the next gig we're gonna play is in Belfast. It's June 27th. We're gonna play with the magnificent, the great Sex Hardcore. Shout out to Sex Hardcore.
Yeah.
Sounds better in German, doesn't it?
Sex Hardcore.
Yes.
And then the next day, we're playing in Fred's with Sex Hardcore. We'll announce, we have the full lineup, but we're probably in the next couple of days, next week or so.
So keep an
we'll
eye
put
on
that out.
social media, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
And these are going to be also like the first headline shows that we're going to do.
This is true, actually. We never did a headline show. I feel like, I don't know why. I don't know if it was a confidence thing or what it was. We kept getting offered really good supports and stuff like that, but I think it was after the last time we played Dublin, like, where we actually met the guys in Sex Hardcore. We had such a good time, and like after, we're all just buzzing. And I remember just being like, why don't we do headline shows? What is wrong with us? Why am I
Just do it.
Yeah, it's like, why am I, like, what am I waiting for? Being like, until we're big. It's like, well, no, you know, like, I want to do this. So like, it's just, it seems like,
And since Evan knows everyone in Cork, like,
Yeah.
you cannot walk with him.
does it mean they like me?
That's a different story.
So kind of, what's the duration of your set so far?
think-
What are you working towards?
I think
Like
we'll probably do
40 minutes or 30 minutes?
Probably do 40.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, at the moment,
That puts a lot of pressure on you then, really, because it's
Well, a
once
lot of
June
physical
27th,
pressure because
yeah.
I ain't fit.
Yeah.
Neither am I.
And like we practice and I sweat.
And then
It's expensive.
also like the new stuff, there's so much more going on for you and the new songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. A ball of sweat.
Oh yeah.
We'll judge you
Yeah.
on the 27 and 28.
And that said, I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah. It's sweaty.
It's just sweaty. Yeah.
Don't know, actually, fuck it. I mean, it's a shame the long hair is gone. You could put a fan in front of the drum kitchen and have the hair flying.
Well, I'd say
80s rock
with
star,
the
you
sweat, I'd say it was just going to stay straight down. There was no way it was going to ruin. Trust me, it's better for everyone. It's gone.
So then there's the big one, which I'm calling it the big one, on November the 30th in the Dally in Cork with Baylor, Black Coast and Hornets.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah,
so
I
in
cannot
attendance.
wait for that.
That's
like
a
the lad,
sellout,
I think
lads, I'd
just
say.
the lads in Baylor are hardest working band. Like I'm
Absolutely.
will always say that. Like they're friends, but whatever. You know,
Yeah.
they are so hard working. And
Yeah.
for them, like 2 years in a row now to do Dally, like that's a big venue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a really big
The
venue.
show last year that they played was so fucking good. Like,
Oh, it was insane. Do you know, but like it's one of those things that they deserve every good
absolutely.
that they get.
Yeah.
I should
It-
also mention that I've been like before I joined Worn Out, I've been to a couple of shows where Worn Out played, but every time I missed Worn Out.
Oh yeah,
Jesus, don't miss the fucking gigs in June, man.
yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah, we're not gonna play songs.
Yeah.
Just gonna tell jokes.
So that's the gigs covered. Okay, so look, social media, you're very prominent. Oh yeah, and I want to give a shout out also to Kate Rua as well for the
Oh,
artwork.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, like I think with when we wanted to do the single for No Truth, I think we just wanted to do something that wasn't again like what you wouldn't just expect someone to do it. And
Yeah.
Kate's stuff was, it almost like a lot of her stuff has that feminine vibe, but like it's very powerful
Yeah.
feminine, like as
Yeah.
in we were trying to find almost like a John Baisley
Yeah.
kind of thing that we really liked, and we just kind of gave her free reign to do whatever she wanted. I think
Yeah.
usually when we ask someone to do, like Kelvin from Serpent Tusk, like
Shout
those
out
are
to Kelvin,
t-shirts,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
big time.
we
yeah.
never, usually if we have a brand new t-shirt coming out, we'll send him the song that it's kind of representing. We let him have his own, because
Mm.
we could sit there for hours and be like, oh, it has to be this
Yeah.
and this, but I think your best work is going to be when it's from you. We got that from Kate, we've gotten that from Kelvin.
Kelvin, yeah.
You know, it's nice for them to actually, like, if we like what they do, then we should be fine.
Well,
with
I mean,
whatever they give,
you're obviously good judges, because from outside looking in, you're looking at two great artists in their
Mm.
own rights. You can see their body of work. Both of them have great
Yeah,
bodies of work,
absolutely,
you know. So, yeah, that's a big plus on the merch side as well.
What I also think is pretty interesting, like those two, like they were completely separate from each other. But if
Yeah.
you see like the cover from the single and see the shirt, it works so well together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like it was nice because I think like Kelvin was aware of Kate. I think he knows her as well, but
Mhm.
he was aware of her work and he loved it. And we sent him the cover. We're like, we want you to do your take on this. So it was like getting to almost like a collaboration in
Yeah.
a way. And like, this is what Kate's done.
Yeah,
Now we want your take on this as a T-shirt. And it was just so great to have two people that admire each other's work to be able to work off
and
each
young,
other.
and they're young artists. As
Oh,
well, like.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's great. It's something that a lot of bands in Ireland are working with successfully, is young artists, and not forgetting Colin as well. And these are the T-shirts, you know, we'll be wearing on the streets, you know, going on holidays, going to festivals, you know.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a really good way of promoting
I think
their stuff. you
one of
know.
the best pictures I've ever seen of anyone wearing a worn out T-shirt was my dad with a glass of wine, just sitting in like my parents' living room, and he just looked like that guy that was like used to go to gigs,
Yeah.
but then got married, and it's like he's like, no, I'm not into that at all. What are you talking about? It's like that was the good old days.
Yeah.
It's dead now. Like,
It's not. It's not.
no, it's dead. It'll never die. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, lads. Social media, you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
MySpace.
And my,
We're actually bringing MySpace back.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
heard that
working on it.
before. Yeah,
Yeah, bringing
So we
Bebo
hired
back.
Tom from MySpace. He's now working for us.
yeah. Good on
Tom
you,
is
Tom.
actually
Shout out to
Tom actually is my dad, and he was the one that got Isaac, Jack, and Ollie all into the same haircutting school,
Jesus, here we
the
go.
hairdressing school. It's unbelievable.
So that's it, lads. I'm delighted to have you on.
Thanks for having
just
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very
Just-
much.
wish you nothing but success. Alex, congratulations on landing that job, man. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
You know,
I'm
it's-
really so psyched about it because
Yeah.
like I should mention like before I joined Worn Out, I basically was done with making music.
Really?
I didn't want to make music anymore. And even when we started to write each other, I sold most of my equipment by that time.
Okay.
I was like,
Oh, that's
I'm done.
true. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
And then you messaged me back and I was like, I guess I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually, we put up that we were looking for a guitarist, and he messaged us. We sent him Circle the Drain. Basically, we're asking people to
Yeah.
send a video of them playing
Mhm.
the song, and then the 3 weeks that I decided, or we kind of all were like, we'll just go do our thing over Christmas. So we'll come back to it. And we messaged him then, being like, "Hey, would you be around Tuesday for a jam?" And you were like, "Wait, you haven't said that to me in 3 weeks."
And because I didn't hear from you guys at all.
Yeah.
You were just
Yeah.
like, thanks, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
okay, I'm
think-
probably not gonna hear from those guys.
I think
but
what the crazy thing
Screwed.
about that was, I was not expecting as many people to send in videos.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that. So that a little bit was like me kind of being taken back, being like, all right,
Mm.
okay, people care, like, you
Yeah.
know, whether it's, they're really just looking for the money and the women, like.
Yeah.
come on, I really tried my best with the video.
He coughed in the middle of the video as well. He was like coughed on one of the open.
You should
the
have
open parts.
spat.
he was like just sitting there. You could see him like his whole body moved with the cough, and he was just like an open chug, and then just went back to it. And I was just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Oh yes,
Yes.
absolutely right.
So that's it, lads. Much appreciated. I have a shout out there to Phil at Burning Metal, who announced, this is going to be interesting, lads. Festival for next year. It's called Iron Mountain Metal Festival. So there's a series of gigs this year called the Road to Iron Mountain Festival. It's on the 16th in Galway and the 17th in Fibbers. And Svent Kant are headlining both with bands underneath them, so you can check them out on Burning Metal. But I also want to wish Svent Kant the best of luck with their new album. It's called The Visage Unbiased. So be sure to check that out. You can find me on the Metal Cell at Facebook and Instagram, and you can email me at themetalcell@gmail.com. That's it. Over and out.
I'm so true, an excuse. Revolution.